Hi YouTube, my name is Jade, and if you don't know who I am, I run this account called Pierce the Ovaries where I talk about supernatural mostly. So I was scrolling through the depths of YouTube while I came across this video by Alana King where she ranks her favorite and least favorite supernatural seasons, and I kind of wanted to do this too. So I got the idea to do it from Alana King, so go check out her video down below. I'll leave it in the description because this is where I got the idea from, and I'm not a no credit asshole. Before I get into this, I just want to say these are all my personal seasons, and also I'm looking at my script, so if I'm looking over here, I still have not found a great setup yet. My phone is on a bucket recording myself, and I'm using a desk lamp to have lighting. That's why I look probably really orangish right now. I hope the highlighter's popping. It's probably not. These are all my specific seasons of Supernatural, ranked from worst to best. There's gonna be spoilers for season 13 because season 13 is over, so yeah, let's get into this. So my worst ranked season is season 11. A lot of you guys are gonna be mad at me that season 11 is the worst ranked season on my list, but it is, you know, it just is. Season 11 has a lot of good episodes, don't get me wrong. They have really strong filler episodes that make up for the arc in my case. I never really enjoyed the arc with Mara. I just feel like having God's literal sister was kind of wild. She just kind of pissed me off. It made me a little bit upset how long they waited to reveal Chuck as God. Even though Chuck's reveal was the turning point, and I really did enjoy it, I did not enjoy the plot with Amara. Seeing God as an actual person in Supernatural is actually kind of like great because not many shows do that. I've never seen someone actually personify God in that way. It was kind of a mindfuck to me, seeing God being personified like that. But overall, the reason why this is ranked so low is just because I did not like the Amara plot. I just never personally liked it until the end. And it always pissed me off how they never really defeated Amara. They just kind of like talked her out of destroying the entire planet, and then they just disappeared into the fucking sunset. And that still pisses me off. Regardless, even though this is ranked as the worst, it's not terrible. I don't hate any season of Supernatural. This list was actually very hard for me to make because I love Supernatural so much. So this is just me trying to rank all of them in my own thing. But next season is season 1. Season 1 is slow as fuck. Yeah, I know this season was the start of all of Supernatural, but there are so many people that I know that haven't continued watching Supernatural past season 1 because of this reason. I feel like season 1 is more to establish the characters and their roles in this whole wild ass journey that you're about to delve yourself into. But the issue with this season is that the plot moves so slow, and there are so many Monster of the Week episodes and so many filler episodes that the plot seems to be the underlying thing, like the underlying topic. Of course, they continue the plot towards the end of the season, which is good. They do that a lot. When I was watching Supernatural for the first time a few years ago, it was really hard for me to just sit down and watch it, considering it was just so slow, and I kept watching because I knew it got really good, and I was right. Thanks Tumblr. So I wish that the first season was more related to the brothers' plot with finding their dad than just so focused on the Monster of the Week. But to be fair, it was the first season and it's what got me watching Supernatural, so you can't hate it. Next is season 10. Season 10 was kind of a rough spot for me. It started off really strong with Dean turning into a demon at the end of season 9, and it shows Sam's frantic search to find him and cure him. The problem is Dean's lasted 3 fucking episodes. He turned into a demon at the end of season 9 episode 23, and then he was cured in season 10 episode 3. That was supposed to be a huge arc for the show, at least in my mind, but it didn't turn out to be. Demon Dean lasted, well, technically 4 episodes if you count the season 9 episode, but still. I also feel like the Mark of Cain story was dragged out too far at this point, considering it took about a season and a half to figure out a cure and screw the whole world over by doing so. Don't get me wrong, season 10 had some great episodes. My favorite episode of season 10 is season 10 episode 19, The Werther Project, which is actually one of my favorite episodes, but after a strong season 9, it was hard for them to come back from that. And also, I do not like the fact that they killed Charlie off in this season. She did not deserve to die. She was just helping, and you know, it's not fair. Okay, it's not fucking fair. The next season on my list is season 3. Season 3 happens to be the shortest season of Supernatural up to date, with 16 episodes due to the writer's strike. I feel like I'm so intense, just like that, like sitting on my chair, like so like season 3. But because the season is so short, it has like this urgency to the situation that Dean is in due to selling a soul in the previous season, and I feel like That sense of urgency helps to give the viewers the same feeling that Sam and Dean have in this situation. But also, I feel like this could have been stretched to the regular episode numbers, which at the time was 22, and I feel like it could have been a little bit better. It did feel a little bit rushed, but again, the writer's strike and all that stuff. The only plot of season 3 was Dean was going to hell. Dean sold his soul, he's gonna die. And Sam couldn't help him or stop him because if they tried to break the deal, Sam would die and probably Dean would too. The thing is, this kind of felt like a stepping stone for Supernatural, considering a lot of shows that have season 3 in it, that have a season 3, aren't really that great, or they don't really do a good job. But season 3 in Supernatural did a great job, actually, taking into consideration that they had the writer's strike and less episodes. I wasn't a huge fan of Bella, by the way. I know that she was kind of like a side plot thing. It wasn't really like a, I don't know, she just kind of pissed me off. Lauren Cohan is a great actor. It's just, I never really liked Bella as a character. The next season on my list is season 2. The season picks up on kind of a weird spot. The first episode starts right after the car accident in season 1, and it kind of felt a little bit weird. John was the main character and had died in the first episode of season 2, and that kind of felt like the whole premise of the season up until the last few episodes. I always kind of expect for a main character to die at the end of a season finale rather than in the first episode of a season, especially if their death is affecting the plot or if their death is permanent, which at this point it is. But season 2 did have some amazing episodes, including Playthings, season 2 episode 11, which is probably one of my favorites. And the 2-part finale was amazing and probably one of the best finales, including Sacrifice and Swan Song. When watching the season, it does feel a little bit slow with the plot, considering, again, it's only the second season, and Sam and Dean's characters are still being developed, but it's, you know, which is not why it's not that high on my list for this reason. Regardless, I think it is a pretty great season, and it does step up from season 1. The next season on my list is season 6, and I know a lot of you guys fucking hate season 6. Season 6 did have a lot of things that I liked and disliked. The big thing in this season was Sam had gotten out of the cage and was soulless. I did in fact like soulless Sam, but I liked Sam after. I liked Sam better after he got his soul back. Sam did a shit ton of screwy things when he didn't have a soul, and you know, when he got his soul back, it finally felt like we had the Sam, like our Sam back. Season finale was great for this season. I personally loved seeing Sam inside of his head trying to remember what death blocked out with the wall, while at the same time we see Dean and Bobby try and fight against Castiel and Crowley and the whole purgatory deal. The thing with the season that it started the train of people that hate the fact that Supernatural went past season 5 after Sam jumped into Lucifer's pit. It did kind of feel like the end of story when Sam jumped into Lucifer's cage, but coming back from such a strong finale is hard, especially when it was building up for 5 seasons. Season 6 was kind of like the jumpstart into new Supernatural territory, where now it wasn't building up to one big finale in a course of a few seasons, but rather one season just led straight to another with a pretty dramatic finale. Also, the storyline behind Ben and Lisa just always kind of irked me. Why would Dean go back to Lisa after only visiting her like once or twice? And also, Ben was definitely Dean's kid. You can fight me on that, thank you. But honestly, season 6 was not that bad. I don't think season 6 deserves as much bad rep as it does get. I'm probably the only one who thinks season 7 and 6 were not that bad. The next season on my list is season 9. Season 9 took me for a fucking spin. It jumps right into the next story after Sam stops doing the trials and Dean takes him to the hospital. All the angels are pissed off and don't have their wings. Dean is sad and shit, makes a really stupid move by calling an angel to come possess Sam. There are a lot of things in this season. I did like the plot of Sam being possessed by Gadriel. That was really fun to see Jared play another character because he's great at doing that. Hence, Lucifer, he did a great job with that too. The introduction of the Mark of Cain was cool and all, but I did not like the fact that it lasted longer than it really needed to. The Mark of Cain lasted up into the end of season 10, and I honestly feel like this was the start of something that lasted way too long. I also don't like the fact that they decided to kill Kevin off in this season. He didn't deserve to die, and I feel like that was more for shock value more than anything. The season ends with Dean getting stabbed by Metatron and turning into a demon. While this was an amazing cliffhanger at the time, it did have a lot of people shook, including myself. But overall, season 9 wasn't a bad season. Like all the other seasons, they're not bad seasons. It was pretty great. just there's a few things I don't love about it, you know? The next season on my list is season 12. Season 12, like a big relief to me considering I was not a huge fan of the Darkness arc. The plotline with the British Men of Letters had felt like a huge step up from season 11 at the time. But the one thing that totally irked me in this season was Lucifer. Firstly, it went from Lucifer helping Sam and Dean in season 11 to defeat the Darkness to totally turning against them and going back to his apocalypse mode. As much as I disliked the fact that they made Lucifer's arc continue on from that point, I liked where they went with it after Lotus, with him having a kid and such. Without Lucifer, we wouldn't have Jack. I also didn't have that much of a problem with Mary being back. I had more of a problem with the way she was treating Sam and Dean when she was working with the British Men of Letters. But since then, like in season 13, episode 22, when they all get back, you can kind of see, you know, they're all happy and stuff, except when Dean totally fucks everything up, but it's fine. I'm glad that they're all good and stuff, but to me, season 12 felt like a huge game changer in the sense that Sam and Dean could finally meet their mother, the person who started their whole journey, their family business, and everything like that. So yeah. The next season on my list is season 7. I know people really hate the Gamble era, which is season 6 and 7, but I did not think it was that bad. The Leviathan plotline had its kinks, but overall it was not that bad. But in contrast to what Sam and Dean were facing, say, back in season 5, it does seem a little bit plain. I personally may not have loved the Leviathan plot. There was another part in this season that I very much enjoyed, which was Sam hallucinating Lucifer, which was taken care of in season 7, episode 17, The Boarding and Identity. I think that the plot between Sam and Lucifer has always been very near and dear to my heart. And, you know, I just like seeing that whole thing. Even though they didn't really show it that much, it's just, you have to know that, like, Sam's going through some shit while he's, like, trying to, like, you know, chill out. But, still. You know, I mean, when you spend a million years in the cage with Lucifer himself, you're gonna be a little bit fucked up, but you know. But that's my favorite part of the season, that's why it is up high on my list. I did hate the fact that they killed Bobby off in this season because it just felt too soon and too heartbreaking. I was not expecting his death to be permanent from this point forward, but it basically was. Also, there was not enough Castiel in this season. Thankfully, he came back though, so. The next season on my list is season 5. I know some of you guys are gonna be salty that season 5 is not at the top of my list. Season 5 was a great season, don't get me wrong, it's not my personal favorite. I think if you look at the supernatural fandom as a whole, season 5 would be at the top of the list, but not for me personally. Season 5's best part is the events leading up to the finale and the finale itself. First 4 seasons led up to this one episode swan song, and it was the perfect ending for the 5-season arc. Eric Kripke originally had 5 seasons in mind when he was making the show, and this was like the true ending of Supernatural. It felt like everything was coming together at this point. One of the dislikes I have about the season is that the Archangels, besides Lucifer, didn't have a bigger role, and I apologize if you can hear my brother in the background. He's playing like Comedy Night or something like that. I don't even know what he's doing, so hopefully the background music blocks him out because he's a stupid asshole. I hope you see this, Dylan. Go fuck yourself. The story was focused more on Sam being Lucifer's vessel than Dean being Michael's vessel, and only had 1 episode with Gabriel and Raphael in it. As relatives of the 2 big bads of the season, I feel like they definitely should have had more screen time. And we should have been able to hear more of their side of the story and possibly have them help Sam and Dean or even work against Sam and Dean. And yes, I know that Gabriel helped Sam and Dean with the rings of the 4 horsemen to lock up Lucifer and open the cage. I just feel like him and Raphael could have made a lot bigger of an impact on this season. I don't know, I've never heard anyone else say the same thing, but if you feel the same way, let me know. Girl, Sam. The next season on my list is season 13. Coming up with our most recent season, season 13 was great. We had a lot of resurrections, brotherly moments, deaths, and whatever is in between that. I personally did not like the fact that they took a whole season to save Jack and Mary from the apocalypse world, but it did come to a great conclusion at the end of the season considering. In this season, we get to see Jack learn from Sam and Dean and develop into this character who, like Sam, was born with something evil inside of him and tried to use it for good. The tension between the brothers in this season was off the charts, and the amount of deaths that I had to deal with in this season was traumatizing. Gabriel came back in the 13th episode of this season and was all that I could ask for, considering it took almost 8 seasons for this to happen. Gabriel's side plot was great. His revenge plan episode, season 13, episode 20, Unfinished Business, was amazing, and we got to see him grow a lot as a character. From constantly avoiding standing up to his family, to his final sacrifice being to save Sam and Dean from the apocalypse world, Michael, it just hurts. It really hurts. Sorry, I just had to like, I love Gabriel so fucking much. I'm still heartbroken and I'm still rethinking about how I'm going to live my life after this, but there is hope that Gabriel will come back in the next season or maybe a season after. And then we have Lucifer's death. While Lucifer was a great villain in the show, I feel like he had run his course and fucked up enough shit at this point in the season, in the show, in the whole series. The kill was very satisfying, considering even though Dean was doing most of the dirty work, Sam helped too by throwing the Archangel Blade up to Dean. It's more of a personal thing for Sam to be able to see Lucifer die and right in front of him. The short smile on Sam's face will always make me happy, even though it was inevitably crushed when Michael took over Dean's body. And Castiel's face at the end of the season when he's sad in a bunker makes me want to fucking die too. But in conclusion, season 13 was great and it was a great start for season 14, which I am fucking pumped for. Second to last season on my list is season 4. I have always loved season 4. From the introduction of the angels to the apocalypse nearing to Sam drinking demon blood, it has always stuck with me as a game-changing season. Sam drinking demon blood was probably one of my favorite arcs, considering it was him doing evil to do good, and I've always loved the complex of this. Sam always wanted to be normal, you know? At least in the earlier seasons we see him obviously express, hey, I want to be fucking normal, I don't want to do your hunting stuff, like, fuck you, Dean, fuck you, Dad. But his intentions were solely to save the people who were being possessed by demons, so the bodies of the people being possessed didn't die. We know that Sam had good intentions during this whole plot, but inevitably he ended up freeing Lucifer from the cage. Ruby was a badass. Don't get me wrong, it's not okay to trick someone into setting the devil loose, but the fact that her whole plan from the beginning was to free Lucifer and use Sam as a tool to do so, and the fact that she didn't reveal it until the moment the deed was done, that's a badass move in my mind. I'm not on the free Satan train, but come on. And leading to my favorite season of Supernatural with my favorite episode, my favorite arc, Season 8! The trials are my favorite arc of Supernatural and I'm so pumped. I love it so much. I just got really aggressive. I apologize if I scared you. I love seeing Sam have to go through the repercussions of doing the trials and the effect it had on him. You guys should know, considering I'm very vocal about this. If you watch me, Season 8, Episode 21, The Great Escapist is my favorite episode of Supernatural, and I have seen it well over 300 times and I can recite it all the way through. It's kind of terrifying watching me do it. The only issue I have with the season is Sam not going through with closing the gates of hell. And I understand why he did not do it, but it never felt like Sam would have stopped doing the trials only because he would die. The Winchesters are always willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, even though this did feel a bit out of character for Sam. I think we really do need to take into consideration that Sam was really sick at the point of this finale, which could have affected his decision to stop doing the trials because Dean had convinced him otherwise. But besides that, I love Season 8 and it will always be my favorite season. The trials will always be my favorite arc, and I love seeing Sam go through the trials and then just have everything just fucking crushed right in front of it. Like, you can't do it. And oh my god, the last 10 minutes of that finale when they're talking to each other in the church always gets me. That is probably my favorite finale of Supernatural. And that is the course of all of my Supernatural seasons. Seasons ranked from worst to best. Just in case you didn't, in case you blanked out the entire video, I'm just gonna put the list right in here. Well, starting from worst to best, it's Season 11, Season 1, Season 10, Season 3, Season 2, Season 6, Season 9, Season 12, Season 7, Season 5, Season 13, Season 4, and Season 8. There you go. That is all of my Supernatural seasons ranked. Again, I do not hate any seasons of Supernatural. I love all of Supernatural. But I did kind of want to make this video and kind of like compare and contrast, and that's kind of what I did with my list. Besides Season 8 will always be my favorite indefinitely, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, Alana King has a video exactly like this. She made it, and she's the first person I saw to do this kind of video, so I will leave her video down in the description below, so go check her out. She's my queen. I honestly, like, binge watch her videos all the fucking time. Like, I'm going to a Supernatural convention in September, and I've been watching all of her convention videos just to prepare for the fact that I'm, like, might be face-to-face with Misha fucking Collins. So yeah, still not over that, but yeah, go check her out. I'll leave her stuff in the description. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and don't get possessed. Thank you guys for watching, and don't get possessed by any demons. Bye.